All right, so this lecture I want to devote to operators. Right, in the last or actually in the previous few lectures, we've learned about our normal operators, which were addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and so on. However, in this lecture, we're going to be talking about relational operators. So going back to our if statement, all right, I'm going to create that same if statement again. If 5 is greater than 2, print hello. All right. If 5 is greater than 2, print hello, we get hello. However, over here, I want you to know what is this, right? This 5 greater than 2. What does this greater sign even mean? Well, this is what we call a relational operator. These relational operators help us to compare and contrast values to get a Boolean value. So a Boolean value, I'm sorry, I haven't explained this before, is a true or a false. So every time we use a relational operator, we'll always get a Boolean value back, either a true or a false. It's actually quite neat. So in all, there are six relational operators in Python till date that I know of. And these are greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, equal to, and not equal to. So let's cover all 6 in this lecture, and then we'll move on to some more complex if and else statements. First, greater than. So as you see already up top, we've discussed what is greater sign. If you do 6 greater than 3, you'll get true. If you do 3 greater than 7, we'll get false. So the greater sign compares to see if this value, the first value, is greater than the second value. Obviously you know that, so I'm not going to talk too much about the mathematical part. I'm just showing you what the operators do. Next, less than. So we have 4 less than 8, true. We have 3 less than 1, false. So this is greater than, less than. We can compare to see if an object is greater than or less than the other object. Now we come to greater than or equal to. So what greater than or equal to checks is, hey, is this object greater than this or is it equal to this? If either one of these conditions is true, then it will return true. All right. So let's go ahead and check it out. If 4 is greater than 4, we get true. Because even though 4 is not greater than 4, it's still equal to 4. And that's why we got true. The exact same way we can check if 5 is less than or equal to 6, for example, it's going to return true. And if you do 5 is less than or equal to 5, we still get true. But because even though 5 is not less than 5, it's still equal to 5. Fantastic. So we've covered 4 of the 6 main relational operators, and the last 2 I believe are the best 2 operators. First one is the equal to. So let's go ahead and create an if statement where we're comparing 2 of the same numbers. So if 5 is equal to 5, okay? If 5 is equal to 5, and we get an invalid syntax. So this is key, all right? It says invalid syntax, and you're probably wondering, what's wrong? All we're saying here is if 5 is equal to 5. I mean, there could possibly be nothing wrong in this statement. However, think about it. When we're initializing a variable, what's happening? If I create a variable called apple and set it equal to 5, what am I saying? I have created an instance of something and I'm setting the value of 5 to it using an equal sign. The exact same way Python thinks. What Python is seeing here is you're setting the value of 5 to 5. This equal sign means you're assigning the value of B to A. You're not comparing, you're not contrasting, you're setting the value of something to something else. And that's not what we want. This is where the double equal sign comes in. If 5 is equal to 5, all right, if you use a double equal sign, that specifies that you're comparing and contrasting. You're just checking to see if the value 5 is equal to the value 5. Obviously it is, so let's go ahead and print out hello. And we're going to get hello, all right? So the double equal is used to compare and contrast to see if the values are the same, and the single equal is to assign a value. Remember that because it's going to come into use a lot in the following few sections. So the last relational operator is the not equal to. And all this checks to see is to make sure object A is not equal to object B. For example, if I say 4 is not equal to 6, I get true because 4 isn't equal to 6. If I say 4 is not equal to 4, I get false. Alright, so we're finally done with relational operators. We've discussed all 6 of them: greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, double equal to, and not equal to. And all 6 of these relational operators will be used in our future lectures when we deal with more complex if statements, else statements, loops, etc. So go ahead, play around with these operators, get a feel of it. Again, instead of numbers, try using variables. Create a variable called num1, you can set that equal to 5, num2, you can set that equal to 6, and you can compare and contrast these different variables. So all I want you to do is get a hang of these relational operators, make sure you understand what each one of them does, because in the future we'll be using them a lot. So fantastic job, and in the next lecture what we'll do is we'll cover some more complex if and else statements. And actually, before we even get to that, I want to talk about indexing or spacing in Python. See you then.